I'm sure many people around the world are familiar with the illusion that in order to defend freedom, all we have to do is elect a government less inclined to the attitude of state intervention in our lives. The idea that maybe if you avoid a socialist government, there'll be more freedom. What an illusion that is, and what a foolish belief that fundamentally achieves. Let me give you an example. Here in Canada, we had elections and we had a majority government who were conservative. And you would think that a conservative government would be more in favor of individual liberty. But look what they've done. There's a new bill to amend the criminal code. You know how it is when governments want to make a lot of changes and they don't want to debate each specific thing. They throw them all together in what's called an Omnibus Bill, a 19th century word, to really mean a conjunction of things that are quite unconnected. Throw them all into a pot, boil them up, and pass them off as good food. Well, this Omnibus Bill has a clause 5 of the bill provides that the offense of public incitement of hatred and willful promotion of hatred may be committed by any means of communication and includes making hate material available by creating a hyperlink that directs web surfers to a website where hate material is posted, for example. This actually is posted by the government itself to explain its Omnibus Bill Clause 5. Interestingly enough, the vote will be on the whole Omnibus Bill, and there will be no debate, or there may be debate clause by clause, but there'll be a vote on the bill itself. So in order to throw out this clause, you'd have to throw out the whole bill, and they have a majority, and you know what that means. It means it's going to pass. But what does this mean? What does it mean to say that you can commit the willful promotion of hatred, which of course is obscure at the best of times? What is hatred? Well, they call it intense dislike. That's what the Supreme Court of Canada, Mr. Justice Dixon, in my case, the Keegster case, called it. So we know what hatred is. It means intense dislike. Now, how vague is that? Never mind. Moving on to the next question. What does making available mean? Well, even if you refer to something that somebody else has said by a hyperlink and you point to that object on the internet, which might be in another country for that matter, it might be printed by someone who's not a Canadian, it might be published by somebody who's not a Canadian, it might be made available by somebody who's not a Canadian, from another country where it's totally free, like the United States. And yet, because you refer to it, you could be charged and convicted of a crime in Canada, subject to punishment for up to 2 years in jail. So what we have here is something similar to what you might find in North Korea or Iran or Myanmar or some other tin pot dictatorship. And we're supposed to think that because we elected conservatives, our freedom is safe. Take a good look at Stephen Harper and his government and what they do with their Omnibus Bill, Clause 5. If you want to do something about it, write to the Minister of Justice. Yes, it may seem futile to do this, but with a 52 or 55 cent stamp, you could at least make your views known. And then no one could say, you never told them. You must take the time to write to the Minister of Justice, write to the Prime Minister. They're all down there in Ottawa, having themselves a very expensive time, building new and more expensive government to oppress our lives. Conservative or liberal, or Democrat or Republican, it makes no difference. They all love government when they're part of it. And that, my friends, is our duty to correct. Until we have referendum, initiative, and recall, until Western Canada is free to choose those things, we'll be inflicted with this type of government. There's only one hope. You must write and tell them you cannot make someone a criminal by referring to what other people have written in some other free country. Therefore, my friends, the burden is on you. Do something about this. Write a letter today. Thank you very much.